Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining our webinar on how to elevate your S/4HANA project excellence. We will wait for 1 more minute to let the people, the late ones, join, and then we will start. Okay, hello again, and thank you for joining our mutual webinar. This time it's us in Panaya together with David with Inetum. Hi, David.
Hi, Amit. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Okay, just before we start, some housekeeping things. So first, all lines are muted for optimal quality, sound quality. If you have any questions, please post them in the QA box. We will cover them either during the webinar or at the end. If we won't make it, so we will answer you back via email. And this session obviously is being recorded and will be shared with all of you after the session, and also available in panaya.com site. Okay, so just a few words on myself. My name is Amit Garusi. I'm VP Product in Panaya, leading our Change Intelligence solution. I'm in the domain of SAP for more than 20 years already, doing multiple roles, starting from training, testing, going through SAP consultancy and management activities. In Panaya, I'm leading all our change intelligence solutions for SAP and Oracle, including our latest and greatest solutions for automatic code corrections, as well as our new Gen AI solutions for simplification items. David?
Well, from my side, I'm David Bayon. I work as a global SAP go-to-market director at Inetum. I began my SAP career 15 years ago in 2009, and I've been holding different roles from that moment. Um, One of the points that I would like to highlight from my career is that back in 2016, I was in charge of leading our first S/4HANA conversion project in the company. That, by the way, um, one of them was also one of the first S/4HANA conversion projects worldwide in general. So that was quite an experience, and actually that was the basis of the approach that I will be presenting today. In my role as a global SAP go-to-market director, one of the main roles that I have is to provide the most robust value propositions for both new SAP customers and SAP install base. And actually, that is the reason why we rely on Panaya for that.
Very good. Okay, so for those of you who don't know us, so we are Panaya. We're established in 2006, leading SAP, Oracle, and Salesforce solutions. We are partners with SAP, Oracle, and Salesforce, together with other partners, as well as other partnership as well. We have more than 3,000 customers worldwide, and more than 1/3 or even 1/2 of the Fortune 500 customers list. They are already our customers. We are well recognized by Gartner and Forrester, as well as G2 for peer review sites for multiple quadrants. You're more than welcome to check on us over there. For Inetum?
Yeah, regarding Inetum, we are an European IT consulting firm. We have more than 30,000 employees, 2.3 billion euros in revenue, offices in 27 countries. And as you can see in this slide, we can provide almost anything that a company might need from an IT perspective, right? You can move on to the next slide, Amit. And regarding SAP, Well, we have more than 2,700 SAP consultants in our global SAP practice, more than 200 million euros in revenue only in SAP, of 21 offices with permanent SAP operations, and we cover the whole SAP portfolio.
Okay, very good. So our agenda for today is we have quite a packed agenda. The first one, we would like to talk about how Panaya is defined as a tool of choice for Inetum's S4HANA projects for elevating projects excellence. Second, we will talk about, we will brief S4HANA solutions by Panaya. We have multiple solutions for different phases in the project. Number three is, I think this is the most critical one for our listeners, is to hear a real customer case study done by Inetum, who led the project there together with Panaya. Then we're going to talk about Inetum's new SAP certification, which was published recently. And last, we're going to talk about custom code, which I think this is the strongest or the largest challenge that the customers are struggling with as part of their S4HANA project. And I would like to introduce, I'm very excited to introduce our new code correction solution, automatic code correction, to help customers to manage this challenge. Okay, let's start. Let's speak a little bit about why Panaya and how Panaya is the tool of choice for Inetum leading SAP and S4HANA projects. So both Panaya and Inetum look at this as a perfect matching to provide added value to our customers, right? So we are partners together with Inetum since 2018. We have worked together with hundreds of customers, mainly in EMEA and Latin America. Inetum was the first European partner to be certified officially by Panaya, and they know the product better than me, I think. We have over 60 consultants certified officially by Panaya and using Panaya in their daily projects with Inetum customers. And what we are focusing basically is how we provide the best value for our customers for multiple or for different project types. It can be a regular upgrade project and obviously S4HANA conversions. David?
Yeah, the truth is that we are recommending the use of Panaya in all our SAP projects. And this is something that we don't do by chance, but because we see the value of the platform in three different dimensions: efficiency increase, risk mitigation, and the real-time visibility that it provides. Regarding the efficiency increase, I mean, the platform provides value in many different ways, but I'd like to highlight some key factors. On the one hand, it creates the testing plans automatically. This is something that, yes, but itself provides a lot of value for the customers. It also goes beyond this automatic business testing plan creation and the automation of the execution, because it also helps to reduce the scope of the projects, and this is something super important. It also captures the evidences and the results of the execution of those tests automatically, and what is super important to somehow manage properly the outcome of the project and of every stage. And also it helps a lot with the custom code correction, because it even includes that automatic code correction functionality that Amit was explaining before, and that it will be covered in further detail later in the presentation, that in many cases justifies the business case of using Panaya for a specific project, and especially for the S4HANA conversion projects. Regarding the risk mitigation, this is something that is becoming more and more important for our customers, and the truth is that Panaya helps us to provide all the insights that we need to know to ensure that we are delivering a 100% successful project. And this is something super important for a company like ours, where we try to provide or to build long-lasting relationship with our customers. And regarding the real-time visibility, well, it's super appreciated by our customers. the fact that the tool provides some dashboards out of the box, including a lot of KPIs, figures, and so on, that can be also customized if needed. And also, even some of our project managers are taking directly to the steering committees or to the follow-up meetings this dashboard with all the information, because it's a way to provide a very convenient but also objective way of showing what is the actual performance of the project. Those are like the main reasons why we are proposing the use of Panaya by default.
Yeah, I think this is the strongest point here, right? So Panaya is included by default in all your SAP project. I think this proves everything that you've just discussed, and this is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, I would like to cover a bit maybe about the journey that customers are going through during their S/4HANA project, and maybe also cover basically how we answer each challenge of this process. So if I'm looking on the soccer playground here, so customers are starting from the point where they are even before their project, they are currently still maintaining their ECC, and usually this is an ECC which is there for over a decade or even 2 decades. So they actually maintain and optimize it as part of the preparation for the S/4HANA migration. Now, optimization can be in different flavors. It can be moving some pieces or supporting the methodology of clean core, basically removing unused custom code and things like that. There are customers who will select to go in 2 steps to S/4HANA and start with the first one, moving on to Suite on HANA. Customers are mainly also will be doing kind of an upgrade project, going to a higher EHP or SPS level stack in order to have a smaller gap when they move to S/4HANA. And obviously, customers are also maintaining their ongoing business-driven changes, because in any case, before, during, and after the S/4HANA project, the business is always coming with demand, and they need the innovations, and they need changes to business processes. So the IT is already working, doing these activities on an ongoing basis together with the preparations for the S/4HANA project. Basically, these are parallel activities. Then the next step is the evaluation, planning, and defining of the migration strategy, which can be in different flavors. There are customers who are selecting to go in a pure brownfield approach. There are customers who select to go in a kind of a greenfield approach. Again, it depends on multiple factors. But customers in any way will start the evaluation and understanding of what does it take to go to S/4HANA. This is basically the next step, which is the actual discovery, preparations, and assessment phase in order to be able to build eventually the business case. Okay, so these 2 steps are very crucial as the pre-planning of this project and also the approval of this project together with the management. And I think the business case is one of the fundamental steps and maybe the most critical one as part of the project approval before they actually kick it off. Okay, so basically the business case is can be an artifact or a document that the IT, basically the CIO, is usually responsible for, where they list down the cost, the resources, and all the efforts that they will need to invest in this project, because this is a large magnitude. It's a very complicated, very risky, very long project. And on the other hand, which value they will be bringing to the business in terms of innovation, in terms of processes efficiency, cost reduction, and etc. So via this business case, the CIO usually goes to the company's management. It can be the CEO, presenting them basically what we want to do and as part of, or why we want to go to S/4HANA, and not just as a technical upgrade, and then approve it. And only then kick this project off and start it and doing the actual conversion project. Okay, so only in this phase they're actually doing the S/4HANA, and eventually, successfully, hopefully, they go live. The thing is that, like in soccer, when you think that you are live and you have ended in the right place, or you scored a goal, eventually it's not true, because you always need to keep pace and always upgrade, from time to time. Again, it depends on the version that you are. For S4HANA, until 2022 inclusive, the end of life is five years per version, and from 2023 it's 7 years. It means that if, for instance, you are currently running versions 2017, 2018, you are currently on end of life, and you need to already upgrade your S4HANA version. So if you were an early adopter, it's now your time to upgrade to a newer S4HANA version. Okay, so with Panaya, as I said, we are supporting customers in all of this journey with multiple products, okay, supporting the different phases. I'm starting here with the ECC optimization. We have products dedicated to support customers doing EHP, SPS, and Business Suite on HANA projects in order to prepare their ECC and currently maintain their ongoing changes in parallel. So we have a product for it just before the actual assessment or pre-preparation of the actual project. Again, we have a product specifically dedicated to support customers to build their business case, providing them a full understanding of the project magnitude, the cost that they will need to invest, the expertise that they need to have, the efforts that they will be investing both in the code corrections as well as in the testing activities. So we have a product to support the assessment as well. Obviously, we have a product to support the conversion itself. This is a tailor-made project plan, again, ready in 48 hours for customers, including all of the comprehensive suite of activities that they will need to run as part of their S4HANA project in order to go live successfully. This includes many major value points, such as automatic code corrections, and other platform-related features that help customers to manage their project more efficiently and smoothly. Last but not least, for customers who are already on S4HANA and completed their migration to S4HANA, we have a product that supports S4HANA upgrades. Again, they get a full plan tailored to their system based on their system analysis, and they know exactly what they need to do in order to upgrade their S4HANA effectively and safely. So if I'm looking on our full umbrella, okay, for S4HANA, we call it S4 360 because it is covering all of the angles which are relevant, or all of the aspects which are relevant for customers who are going either before, during, or after the S4HANA initiative. So the main value points, as I see them, is first and foremost, they gain visibility and control over the project. So either the project manager or the other managers in the project, but also the developers and the testers, and by the way, also the business users, the top users, can gain visibility and understanding on what is the status of the project. Okay, what is going on, whether we have any bottlenecks that we need to solve, or whether this is something which is stuck and need my attention. So this is number one. Number two is accelerate and de-risk the actual, we call it key initiatives. Key initiative can be the actual project or the preparation phase or after the project, because you get a full tailored plan to your system and you know exactly what you need to do. So no more guesswork, and basically you are going and doing it safely because you are you're basing your activity on a full dedicated project. Number three, I think this is eventually the highest goal, or the most needed objective for customers, because the IT organizations are always stressed to deliver more, to deliver faster, and to deliver with less efforts, less resources. I hear this, okay? I hear IT organizations are struggling and CIOs are struggling because they are getting requests and an increased demand from the business to deliver more and deliver faster. But on the contrary, they need to invest time in order to do the efficient testing and the efficient understanding and learning. So with Panaya, they can do it in confidence because, again, they don't need to waste time in redundant testing or in understanding on how I'm going to do this project. They get it just right away, and they just needed to follow the activities which are already there, and they got it. Okay, let's move to our next chapter, talk about some customer success stories of Inetum. David, you want to share?
Yeah, actually, as you explained before, Amit, we have been using Panaya for many different customers and for different kind of projects. But today I would like to highlight the case of Metallogenia or MTG. Just to give you some context, they are a global company based in Spain, but with presence in more than 60 countries. They have been in business for more than 65 years, and they are specialized in the design and manufacture of high quality ground engaging tools for earth moving machinery, holding at the moment more than 400 dealers. You can move on from the next slide. Amit, thank you. Well, as you can see here, you can see an overall project, an overall description of the project. They were moving in this project their current their previous ECC system. They were beginning with a 6.0 EHP5 version with Oracle database using SAP Gig, of course, for the user interface and with two ERP landscapes. And they were moving to an S4HANA 2021, doing at the same time the adoption of Fiori as user interface for some of their business processes, and also adding a new landscape to their ERP, SAP ERP architecture. This kind of project implies a number of technical challenges, as you may imagine, but they also were facing some functional challenges. On the one hand, the change in the third-party risk management, some adjustments in the use of cost centers for several company codes, and also some adaptations that they had to do to adopt the new accounting of fixed assets. That, by the way, this is something that all the companies have to do in their journey to S/4HANA because it's one of the financial prerequisites. And the main outcomes that we had, the main benefits of using Panaya was, on the one hand, that we were able to reduce the scope of the project in 72%, exactly 72%. That was, I mean, I see the smile of Amit, but that was key, because imagine being able to remove from the table 72% of the issues that you had to face in the project. We were able to focus on the other 28%, and that was super interesting because it gave us the possibility of being like more aggressive with the project plan, but also with the estimation of the effort that we needed for the project. And also, as a combination of, I mean, or to make this even more interesting, we were able also to do more than 50% of the custom code adjustments automatically. And this was with the first version of this Panaya functionality. We will see some news in the session that Amit will explain to cover what Panaya can do at the moment with the new versions of this functionality. But at that time, 2 years ago, we were already able to fix more than 50% of the custom code adjustments automatically. And this was not, in a beautiful PowerPoint or something. This is something that we saw in the reality of this specific project, and something that we are also seeing in the case of other customers. In summary, thanks to all these benefits provided by Panaya, we were able to run the remediation and testing phases in less than 6 months. And this is, a challenge, taking into account what was the scope of this project.
I think this is, David, if you ask me, doing the code remediation and testing in 6 months, this is a record. Because usually, projects can be like in between. The duration can be 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, or even more. But the critical part is usually the code correction and the testing. And doing this for this major customer in 6 months, this is truly a record. Very well.
Yeah, and also because since you are somehow taking into account the dependencies between the use cases to do the testing and so on, you avoid going back and forth, and so you increase a lot the efficiency of the process.
I agree. Correct. Okay. Let's speak a little bit, David, if you can share about your new SAP certification that you got just recently with Rise to S4.
Yeah, actually, this is the methodology that we have in the company for the S4HANA conversions, and actually it's based in the experience of those first projects that I was explaining in my introduction. That back in 2017, we were thinking, okay, we have finished successfully this first project, but what we would have liked to know at the beginning to sleep better at night, to have to work less weekends and all those things, And this was actually this Rise to S4 methodology certified by SAP recently was the outcome of that analysis that we did in 2017. We created this methodology with two main blocks, one for the analysis and one for the delivery. And what we do is to create like a roadmap and project plan as the outcome of the analysis phase, and then we use in the delivery to deliver the actual S/4HANA conversion, right? So what we do in the analysis phase is to analyze the impact of the project in 5 different dimensions: technical level, functional, development, integrations, and licenses. And we have also like several milestones. We begin with initial presentation of our approach in deeper detail that what I'm doing today, of course, and also a generic demo of Panaya, because for us, the use of the tool is something inherent to our methodology. As you can see here, we are supporting all our stages in the methodology in a specific Panaya component. So we begin with that initial presentation and the Panaya demo, and we offer the customer the possibility of running a free of charge diagnosis, including Panaya, but also information coming from the standard SAP tools, a workshop that we do for them, and so on. So we put all that information together in a quite interesting report that helps them to make what is going to be the best next step based on the situation where they are at that time. So the second milestone in the methodology is to present this beautiful report that we prepare for them, together with a demo of Panaya with their actual data. And this is something super powerful because they give them the possibility of trying before buying. Actually, they see in advance the value that Panaya as a platform is going to provide them for the project. So with all that information, they usually have like 3 different scenarios. On the one hand, we have some customers that make the decision of, okay, I see of all this information, but now I want to create a detailed project plan. Okay, we can work on that and so on. And after that, they might be ready to move on with the S/4HANA conversion. We have also a second scenario where the customers make the decision of moving forward directly with the S/4HANA whole conversion, without having this intermediate step. And we also have a third scenario where we see something in between. There are customers who decide to take advantage of time to run some adaptation projects that are eventually prerequisites that they will need for the conversion to S/4HANA. And maybe they do some kind of let's say more easiest way of reaching the S/4HANA conversion, right? Because they do step by step. In some cases, they even take the decision. They made the decision of doing it in 2 steps: first a HANA migration, then an S/4HANA conversion. It depends on the case, So the third case will be like the hybrid scenario with more possibilities.
Okay, very good. Okay, I think again, as we stated at the very beginning, the most critical pain point for customers is their custom code. Okay, so custom code, I think there is a single customer who doesn't have a piece of custom code in his environment. Again, I'm looking on our customers who have their ECC landscape for decades. They developed it to death, as we call it. They're adding custom code on a daily basis to support their business requests and business processes. But eventually, once they get to the point where they need to upgrade their environment or to move to S/4HANA, this becomes a real struggle, okay? I would like to share from the last report from SAP Insider, let's say the main technologies that are being evaluated by SAP customers. I would select, I would highlight I've highlighted the main ones. First and foremost, this is the impact analysis tool. So customers understand that there is a significant impact in the move to S4HANA. It's not just another technical upgrade. It may be an IT organization that did, multiple EHP, SPS upgrades in the past couple of years, but this is something else. Okay, so they understand it, and they understand that they need to look for a tool that will support them in the process. Second is automated deployment and configuration tools, again, for the actual deployment of changes. Number 3 is automated testing and test management solution. Again, these kind of, or this type of project requires massive testing, and therefore customers would like to automate as much as possible in order to save time and work efficiently and not to do any redundant testing. Number 4 is around business process modeling. Again, moving to S4HANA means that your existing business processes are subject to change. There are standard business processes that do not work as is anymore. You need to change, and therefore you need to understand the business processes before and after the move to S4HANA. Number 5, this is code analysis tools. Okay, again, custom code challenge. And number 6 is auto-code remediation. So customers understand that they need to run an analysis on the code and then eventually to remediate it. And you see that the places where I highlighted, these are the ones which Panaya can answer simply by our products. And you see that this is the most needed by customers. So talking about a typical S4HANA project challenges, so I will start from the very beginning, as we said, during the project evaluation, and maybe also not just at the beginning, but also through the project, ensure that you're optimizing or managing the risk properly. Okay, these kind of projects usually mean a very high risk to the business, just to keep the business as usual before, during, and after the project. And also in terms of project evaluation, understand the holy triangle, okay, of scope, timeline, and budget. It's really, customers are really struggling to understand this in advance because they don't have experience, they didn't do this kind of project, they don't really know what it takes to do this project, and therefore this is a real struggle. As you saw in David's slide, they are answering this part easily with Panay. Number 2 is around existing technical debt. Okay, this is the custom code which resides in your system, which is an interpretation of decades of customization of development of your current ECC landscape. Again, if you, and most of the customers do not manage their code life cycle as they should. Okay, they are not usually proactively cleaning unused code. So this becomes a real obstacle when they want to move to S4HANA. Number 3, this is again around remodeling of business processes, understanding what will change and how it is going to look like in the new S4HANA environment. Customers need to understand because this is the real impact on the business. Okay, this is what the business will feel, and they need to feel confident that they know exactly what will change and how to support the change management for these business processes. Number 4 is eventually correct the custom code, which basically is a combination of all of the aspects that we have discussed. So modeling of business processes, technical debt, and project evaluation and risk management, all of them together are eventually are around custom code, because this is the most, let's say, the common base for all of these things. And basically, the fixing of the custom code, it's a real struggle and takes, I think, the largest part in S4HANA projects from the technical perspective. So with this, I'm delighted to introduce our new S4HANA automatic code correction solution. Just to give you the context, again, as David has mentioned, he mentioned that in Metallogenia, they were able to cover 50% of the code automatically. Here we are talking about a totally different picture. It's a game changer. It's a world-leading solution, and I would like to explain specifically why. First and foremost, we are tackling, as of now, automatic code cleansing. Okay, so we are listening to our customers, we are listening to our partners, and we understand that usually they are not cleaning their code as they should. Okay, and therefore we understand that we need to do it for them, and we need to do it as an integral part of the project and not as a dedicated standalone project, because customers don't have the time to stop the business and do cleansing. Okay, so we do it as part of the project, again, automatically. Number two is understand or reduce the project scope, okay, based on code compatibility. So we automatically identify which code will work as is without any performance implications on S4HANA, and we mark it and eventually test it to work in S4HANA automatically, and we mark it as done for the customer and save the time of the developers trying to fix this code, which is really not needed. Number three goes without saying, okay, so we are fixing the code which needs to be fixed. We are fixing it fully automatically. Obviously, developers can review our fixes and approve them before they are submitting the fixes to their SAP environment. Obviously, the code and all of the fixes are being deployed directly and submitted directly to the SAP environment. Usually, this is the dev for customers, and basically it is being packed and activated in an SAP transport, so then they can take the transport and move it to the other environments. Number five, I think this is very critical, maybe for customers, but also for our partners, is to provide as part of the product our winning project methodology in order to ensure full efficiency and optimal project flow for customers and partners. So eventually, we, from our experience with our hundreds and thousands of customers and our expertise in SAP since, as I said, 2006, we understand exactly how this project needs to be taken care of, which steps needs to be taken before and which steps should be taken after, and how to do it step by step in order to ensure that I'm doing this project safely, optimally, saving time, cost, and risk. So this methodology is, again, an integral part in the product. So customers, partners, developers know exactly what they need to do and when they need to do. Okay, this is a screenshot, okay, of our dashboard. This is a simplified view. Basically, we provide lots of insights inside the project, but you can see here, first and foremost, the bucket for automatic code fixing aligned to SAP ATC and SAP best practices. We show exactly how many findings of ATC we are covering automatically in terms of programs, in terms of code lines, and what is the effort saving that we are saving directly for the customer. Even before he started his project, he get it in advance, okay? They know exactly, in terms of project evaluation, where they stand. Now, we still have some remaining manual activities that should be taken care of. And again, these are also incorporated in the project, so the customer can safely understand that he completed everything he needs to do in terms of code correction. Going to this style here, I'm talking about code cleanup savings. So there is an industry standard states that for each unused line of code, basically the TCO is $0.25 a year, okay? So in this example, okay, I'm planning to remove 473 programs, and with this amount of code lines, so for this specific customer, I'm saving over $70,000 as part of his S4HANA project by automatically cleansing his unused code. I think this is, again, this is a game changer because customers are not doing it, not proactively and not as part of the project, and obviously not automatically. So developers, if the IT decides, developers are doing it manually, which takes a lot of time, and obviously has a lot of risk in it because they might comment out code or delete code which is incorrect. Here we are aligned with the ATC coverage by category, so customers can understand exactly how the split according to ATC variants look like, the percentage of how much Panaya is covering automatically, again, very simply shown here, and the different development packages as we analyze from the customer system. Again, customers can drill down specifically to a specific dev package, assign it to the relevant dev team, and etc. Okay, so if I'm trying to recap on what we are doing and what are the main value points for our new automatic code correction solution. So first and foremost, we are accelerating and de-risking the conversion because everything, or at least the majority part of the code correction, are done automatically. So obviously we are cutting the project cost because we are saving tons of development work, which it's not so developers can use their time to do innovative activities and introduce innovations and work on business requests rather than cleaning code and rather than fixing code systematically for S/4HANA. Number two, which is very, very significant in my eyes, is reduction of total cost of ownership because, again, we are automatically cleaning out code which is unused. And this help to make the system of the customer also more stable, more healthy, and more ready for the future upgrades as well. Number three, this is elimination of risk. So as we said, we want to allow IT organization and our customers to run faster and with confidence. Therefore, we introduce innovations, we introduce automations, and we basically tailor our project plan according to the analysis of the customer system. So they get a tailored plan and they know exactly what they need to do in order to ensure that they go live successfully. And number four goes without saying. So since everything is managed on the same platform, it's all in Panaya in one product, not spread across multiple products that you cannot really connect. You understand exactly what is going on in the project from the IT perspective, IT management, as well as from the business, identify bottlenecks and solve them simply. With our new code correction solution, we reduce up to 98% of your code correction efforts. This was already proved with multiple customers. Again, just to give you the numbers, David talked about 50%. Here we are raising the bar to 95, 98% with multiple customers.
And that's amazing. I mean, I cannot say
I agree.
any other thing. That's great. That's great.
I agree. Okay, so just a glimpse on how it works. Okay, so how it works, again, we are, for those of you who don't know Panaya, we are extracting a file from the customer system with metadata. Basically, this is code. We don't take anything which is unneeded, such as data itself or configurations. It's mainly metadata. And this file is being uploaded by the customer to Panaya, which we are analyzing this with our smart algorithms. And eventually we provide a tailored plan in 48 hours. As I said, this tailored plan is compiled of automatic fixes that can be submitted directly to the SAP environment of the customer, with manual fixes that customers will need to do some manual activities that must be manual, unfortunately. And cleansing fixes, again, which are automatic for customers of commenting code which is unneeded and moving objects to a dedicated dev package in order to examine it further if it's needed or not. All of these packages are being worked within Panaya, within the same platform, with full visibility, with full management capabilities. And once the project is ready, you can submit everything to SAP transports to your dev environment, and then proceed to the next environment, such as QA and etc. One more thing, obviously, we have automatically sync with the dev environment. So once the customer has, for instance, implemented gradually part of the fixes, so they can extract again a code for Panaya and analyze it, and we will do the delta work and ensure specifically that the customer is focusing only on what is left for him to do, and we update the project plan accordingly. Okay, let's see if we have some questions in the chat, and we will answer them. Okay. Very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. As I said, this webinar was recorded and will be shared in our site and with you by email. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you for having me.